Kumusta ka?
你好吗？你好吗？
¿Cómo estás?
お元気ですか？
This Sunday, March 3, our very own Sister Margaret Ip will share the importance of learning a secondary language or dialect. Join us from 11 a.m. to 12 noon Philippine Standard Time, only at INCRadio Hong Kong Satellite Studio, your Sunday lunch date.
Palaging konektado sa lahat ng mga tao. This is INCRadio. Anywhere in the world, oh, we are always together, connected to everyone. Life will be better.
This is INCRadio, DCEM 954, the voice of truth, the official radio station of the Church of Christ or Iglesianicristo.
You're watching and listening to INC Radio. This time we'll be turning over to Washington, D.C. for the next 30 minutes of live broadcast. Good morning, Brother Ivan.
Good morning po. How are you?
All right, then. And let's watch and hear them from Washington, D.C.
Good morning, everyone. I hope everyone is having a great morning so far. Welcome to INC Radio, Washington, D.C. Satellite Studio. I'm Brother Ivan, and my co-host here is...
Good morning, Brother Ivan. I'm Sister Grace.
There we go. So we got Sister Grace here and myself this morning. Today is... What is it today? It is March 2, 2024. Right at 8 a.m. here in the Eastern Standard Time. And we are talking about reading. And we have a few guests today. First, we've got Brother Cedric, and we've got Sister Marvia, and then we have Sister Sage. So we're going to go get to know some of our guests this morning. They are our INC Kids guests this morning to talk a little bit about reading. And we're going to get to know them with a little icebreaker. So Sister Grace?
Hi, Brother Ivan, and to our guest. I have this short, or I'm going to say summary story, and I would like the panelists to guess this. A long time ago, a lady was known for her beautiful blonde hair. Unfortunately, she was locked up in a tower and no doors. She was never allowed to go out and made her lonely and miserable. One day, a handsome young prince heard her voice and fell in love with her. She allows a young man to climb her long brown hair cascading to him. What is that story all about? Any guess from... Let's start with Brother Cedric. Do you have an idea?
Is it Rapunzel?
Rapunzel? What about Sister Sage? Do you have any guess?
Yeah, I agree, Rapunzel.
Rapunzel? What about Sister Marvia?
I also agree that it's Rapunzel.
And you are right. Rapunzel with that long hair, blonde hair. Congratulations. Now, at this point, our televiewers and listeners, what do you think are your top three favorite books? You can have that in our live chat. Let's start with Sister Sage. Could you please share what you have there? A title, the author, and please read the excerpt of that book.
Um, this is Where the Sidewalk Ends, and it's by Shel Silverstein.
Ooh, let's take a look at that. Ooh, okay.
Okay.
What is it about?
Just drawings and poems.
Oh, cool. Okay. Would you be able to read us maybe just one page, not one whole page, but something, one of your favorite lines on there in the book?
Okay. Have you heard of Tiny Melinda May, who ate a monstrous whale? She thought she would. She said she would, so she started right in the tail. And everyone said, "You're much too small," but that didn't bother Melinda at all. She took tiny bites and chewed very slow, just like a good girl should.
See that? Oh wow! Is that she's like a big? She was eating the whale.
It doesn't bother Melinda, even though she's short or tiny, right?
And in 89 years, she ate that whale because she said she would.
Oh wow! It took 89 years to eat the whale.
9 years. So that tiny Melinda became what? A lady after 9 years, Brother Ivan.
A Lola.
Wow. Okay.
Thank you, Sister Sage. What about, let's hear from Brother Cedric. What you got there?
This book is called Wings of Fire by Tui T. Sutherland, and it's about finding the hidden kingdom.
Rings of Fire. Go ahead, brother.
Glory wasn't sure how she knew this was not an ordinary hole in a rock. It looked like a hole, dark, with smooth stone edges, just big enough for a full-grown dragon to pass through. A moss curtain partly covered it in a way that didn't look quite accidental enough, but looking into it made her head spin, as if she were standing on the edge of a cliff in high wings. A faint sound whistled out the hole like a storm howling on the far east side of the world.
Brother Ivan, could you help me give the summary of that? The Ring of Fire.
Fire. I think that was so I think how many pages is that, brother Cedric? That book.
It is like almost 300 pages book.
300 pages.
300 pages.
So I think
Well,
Sister Grace, we only listened to like maybe one tiny excerpt from a 300-page long story.
and the brother Cedric read that fast. So no wonder he could finish the 300 page in just how many hours, or in one day, brother?
Yes, but
There you go.
Wow.
One day, 300 pages.
Got some fast readers here.
Fast,
Sister
fast
Grace,
reader.
do you have another story that you can maybe we can try to guess as well?
Well, one of, I'm gonna say, this is gonna be needs energy. You need to be like running fast. One day, this I think one of the sibling, so someone is like intruder trying to open the door, but that one sibling then like able to escape and run as fast as he could and move to another house where the other sibling was there. And again, the intruder would like to open that door, and they were able to escape and move to another sibling. And here comes again. That intruder tried to follow, but gladly they were not able. I mean, that intruder was not successful. So, how many? There were three, I think, brothers, and successfully able to overcome that intruder. What is that story? Who can guess? Sister Marvia. It starts with letter P. What was that? The three,
The Three Little Pigs.
the three little pigs. Do you agree, Brother Cedric?
Yes, I agree with that answer.
How many of us in the televiewers right now able to? I'm so sorry, I'm not really that good, but I tried. I tried to give the short summary, Brother Ivan. Now, with that said, let's hear from Sister Marvia. What you got there?
Towers Falling by Jewel Parker wrote, and it's about like a fifth grader named Deja, and she's learning about 9/11.
9/11. If you don't mind, Sister Marvia, what grade are you in right now?
Third grade.
Third grade, and you're reading a fifth grade book. Oh, wow. Advanced, huh? Okay. Let us hear from you. Go ahead, sister.
America is one big family, one big home. When the towers fell, I think everybody did their best to help and be strong, like Pop. Some died, some got wounds you could see, some got wounds you couldn't.
So, could you please show that picture again? I mean, the picture of that book. Closer, closer. So, the towers. Say something about that. Oh, on the top, that was the tower before, and after that, 9/11. There you go. So, were you able to finish that book, Sister Marvia?
I think I'm almost done. I think I'm almost done, but I think it will be my favorite book when I'm done.
Wonderful. Well, thank you very much. And at this point, let's move on and back to you, Brother Ivan.
All right, so let's see here. I think we are going over to our station break.
You are listening to Iglesia ni Cristo Radio, the voice of truth.
Hello, DJ. How was school today?
Hi, Nanay. It was good po. How about you po? How was your day? And are you almost home po?
It was great. The weather is amazing too. And I'm almost home. Is there something bothering you?
Our art teacher asked our class to paint a bunny and egg, but I told him that I do not celebrate Easter because it's against the teaching of God po.
That's right. We are taught from our worship services and Bible studies that we do not follow such practices because it's not from the Bible. You can share the website incmedia.org to your teacher so that he can understand what we are taught.
Okay po. I will do that po. See you soon po.
Sister Grace, well, okay, welcome back to INC Radio. Shout out to those who have tuned in so far. Sister Grace, do you have our comments this morning?
Oh, yes, Brother Ivan. From our very own Lizelle Zoriano, my students watched Snow White and Seven Dwarfs yesterday, and they live happily ever after. From Bowie, we have also from Sister Nidal, my favorite book is probably Mine Hunter. We have also from EJ Abagon. I read the entire Wings of Fire. Oh, there you go. We have also greetings. We have from Nick Abagon. Good morning po from the Gettysburg. And good morning and greetings from the local of Baltimore. We have also the unstoppable Baltimore. And more on coming up. Back to you, Brother Ivan.
All right, y'all. I got the kids to myself now. No, I'm just kidding. We got them here to the main discussion, so you can see they're very very smart kids. And so we want to ask them a few questions about reading, maybe the benefits of reading. But before that, I'm curious. Let's start with Brother Cedric. Brother Cedric, I know you like to read like fantasy books. And me too. I love the Harry Potter series personally. I started when I was in the third grade, read it all the way to the sixth grade, back to back, all of the books. How about you? Like, what's your favorite books or maybe book series that you've read so far?
The book series I read so far is halfway through Harry Potter.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm almost done with the Wings of Fire,
Mm-hmm.
and like that's that's like a little bit of my series I read so far.
Okay, okay. So you like those bigger books. Personally, people say, right, do you like the books more than the movies? I 1,000% like the movies more than the books. Sorry, I'm different. I'm not a big reader, but I love how you guys are really reading. I encourage reading. I mean, I love how me and brother Cedric, we both read like these fantasy type of stories, right? How about you over there in Sister Kathy's house? Sister Sage, how about you? What's your favorite book that you've read so far?
Um, I have lots, but this is one of my favorites.
What is that? Miss Quincy's. Okay, so what's Miss Quincy's about?
Um, it's about a girl that
She doesn't want a quinceañera.
she doesn't want a quinceañera. That's when she has a big birthday party when you're turning 15,
Mm-hmm.
and she doesn't want it because she wants to go camping with her other friends. But her mom is super protective, and she wants her to stay and go somewhere where she doesn't want to.
Ooh,
She wants to go.
okay,
And she
interesting.
wants to wear black instead of pink.
Oh, okay, okay. Well, it sounds a little was it? Man, there were books that I really liked that were a little close to that, but it's been a while. It's been a while since I've read a lot of those what is it, like realistic fiction books, right?
Okay.
How about you, Sister Marvia? What's your favorite book? Because I know you said that after you're probably finished with this the Towers Falling books about the Twin Towers, was there a favorite book that you've had before?
Yes. Talk about your other book. The other book you read before.
Right. Did you read any other books that you really liked before? Any favorite one? I know you probably read like 100 books before.
What was that other book you read? You told me about.
Well, that's okay. Let me give you some time, right? I'm gonna ask you again later. What's your favorite book in the past? And if it's the twins, if the Towers Fallen, it's all good. But I do want to ask you this question, Sister Marvia. Right. I know you're a big reader and you like to read these really like advanced books. To you, why is it important to read? Why do you think reading these books will help you or benefit you maybe now and in the future?
It makes you smarter, and it is like watching a movie in your mind.
Okay, yeah, it does. It does. There's research out there that does say it does make you smarter, and it is entertaining, right? It's like you're reading page by page, and you can almost imagine it going on in your head, right? How about you, Sister Sage? Why do you think it's important to read on yours, or why do you like reading? How about that?
Mm, because you can learn more words,
Mhm.
and it helps you understand, and you can build stories together.
Right, right. Okay. I'm curious. So you build stories together. Do you also like writing?
Mm, yes.
Yes. Okay. Good. Good. Right. So I know some people don't like writing, but then they love reading. But I'm glad that you like to do writing as well. because right, reading stories and learning those bigger words or more complex words can actually lead you to writing a little bit better. How about you, brother Cedric? Right, I know you're very smart as well. Why do you think it's important to read, or maybe why do you like reading?
I think it's important to read because you can like imagine things. Like when I'm
Mhm.
reading Rings of Fire or Harry Potter, like I
Mhm.
imagine that I'm there and doing what they're doing too.
Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. It's like you're living in another world, right? Like when you're reading all of this stuff, it's very peaceful. You could go somewhere quieter in your house, maybe somewhere loud in your house. I don't know, depends on your reading style. But it's entertaining as well. And as Sister Sage and Sister Marvia said, it's also educational. So let me take some. Let's see. Let's take a look at here. What are your reading habits like? Sister Marvia, I know you like to read these bigger books, but do you read these books often? Is that something you do all the time?
Twice a week.
Twice a week? Okay, okay. What do you have a schedule of when you read your books?
Is that
No?
at school or
Yeah.
at home?
At home. Okay. Okay, right. So you read at home twice a week. That's really good. How about you, Sister Sage? How often do you read?
Mm, every night and sometimes at school.
Oh, wow. Okay, you're very diligent. They call them the masipag, right? Right. In Tagalog are very hardworking. Wow. How about you, brother Sajid? How often do you read?
I read every day at school
Every
and
day at
and like,
school. Okay.
sometimes at night.
Oh, good, good. I love how you guys are really young and you're reading so much. It'll definitely benefit you in the future. Sister Grace, I want to call on you. How about you, Paul? How often do you read these days?
Brother Ivan, I was listening to you, and when you said
Mhm.
you rather watch a movie rather than a book, I'm with you. But there's a need to really to read a book because, as you mentioned, and even our guest mentioned, it's gonna add knowledge, the
Mhm.
vocabulary. If you're going to write a sentence, then you can complete the sentence because you know a lot of words. And
Right.
Brother Ivan also said, "Oh, what about if I'm just going to read? It's gonna relieve stress." So our guest mentioned about reading. They're gonna do that maybe in school,
Mhm.
maybe at for us not at work. Reading in a particular place maybe so quiet, but to be honest, while you have this reading skill, someday in the future you'll be taking tests, and if you're a fast reader, then you can finish that whole page. Sometimes one page, it will take that couple of what minute, and then
Mhm.
there are 2 to 3 questions, then that's gonna be easier rather than, I'm not saying slow reader, they can
Right.
read. Yes, and nowadays it's more on brief constructive response where you really need to write something.
Mhm.
That it makes sense, right, Brother Cedric, Sister Sage, Sister Marvia, and all the rest now, even our parents children who are watching right now. Thank you, Brother Ivan. That's back to you.
Right, right. I completely agree with you, Sister Grace. All right, I'm gonna throw a sideball question here, but hopefully it's gonna be easy. I'm gonna ask the kids. Our brother Cedric, I want to ask you, what do you want to be? What do you want to do when you grow up? Like, do you have a job or occupation in mind?
Um, maybe like be a architect or maybe
Mhm.
a sports player.
Ooh, okay, okay, all right. And then how about you, Sister Sage? What do you want to be when you grow up?
I want to be an architect and an inventor.
Ooh, cool, cool. And how about you, Sister Marvia?
I want to be a nurse or like an engineer or
Mm-hmm.
like a lawyer.
Oh wow, that's three very different things. But it's great that you're considering like all of these things. So I want you guys to pay attention, right? Like it's like you're both you're two of you want to be architect, an inventor, right? And then Sister Marvia wants to be like, everything like engineer or lawyer. or what was it? I forgot the other one, but right, all of these things like require some type of reading, especially when you go to school, high school, college, so that you could get these jobs. It'll totally help you. Trust me. Trust me. And then Sister Kathy is probably across the screen there, but she's a lawyer. She reads all the time. That's all she does.
Brother
Just kidding.
Ivan,
Yes, Sister Grace.
if you don't mind, I'm gonna read quick some of our televiewers right now.
Right.
From Nika Bagan, it says here, I'm so glad that one of my favorite books as a kid is still in the kids' library, The Frogs and the Toad. From Sister Nigel, I think that reading books expands your imagination. That's right. From Christina Lazaro, when I was young, pro elementary days, remember reading these books repeatedly: Rapunzel, Three Little Pigs, Snow White, to name some. And I don't know who's, but it says PB from Bowie. In elementary schools, require reading at least 30 minutes a day. So hopefully it still apply this time. And log them and their journal builds a habit. There you go. And of course, we have from Nika Bagan and from Frederick Mendoza says good morning. That's all, brother.
Right. All right. Thank you all for joining. I love all of the books that you guys have shared. For me, one of my favorite books as a kid, I think was I like the Where the Wild Things Are, which ended up being a movie as well. So I like the actually on that one I like the book more than the movie. But then again, it was also a picture book, so it was hardly a book. It was still a book. Okay. All right. So I'm going to read a little bit about tips how to become a better reader. Okay. All right. So we're here and we have already talked about the benefits of reading. But take a listen here from the New York Times. They said that we got a few advices here. Choose the right book, right? So choosing the right book will help us be a better reader, making a reading plan. So I think one of the brothers or sisters, PB, says they're required to read 30 minutes a day when they're elementary school and log it on, right? So they were required to do the like a reading plan. So those are just two tips that we have to become a better reader. How about let's go on ahead and go to our last portion for special greetings. Brother Cedric, do you have any special greetings for us today?
I will greet my mom and dad, my brother, my brother and sister, my grandma, my grandpa, my baby cousin, Amara, and my grandparents from the Philippines. And that's it.
Cool. All right. How about you, Sister Sage?
Um, I would like to greet my Lola Linda, my Oma Josie, my mom and dad, and at the Iris, and my friends at school and at church.
Nice.
Hi.
How about you, Sister Marvia?
Um, I want to greet my Lola in the Philippines, my mom, my dad, and Ate Maya.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you so much, INC kids, for joining us today. Let's go on over to our CFO in action and our unstoppable highlights. Let's check out our recent district activities. Okay, I think that we have so we've had some district activities here in the past. Here we go take a look at what they were. All right. How about let's take a look at maybe upcoming activities here in the district. Um, let's see here. Okay, so I don't think we have a video prepared, but hey, we have a lot of activities around the district here in Washington, D.C. I can go ahead and read maybe some of the things that are happening here this morning in Washington, D.C. So, for example, right, we have our AEVM activities. So, for INC Radio Kids or INC Kids, we have them every time we have our CWS. So, keep that in mind. And then we have a lot of cleanings going around the District of Washington, D.C. We're going to be preparing for planting season, right? It's already March. So once April comes around, we can plant these beautiful, beautiful flowers. All right. So with that said, Sister Grace, can you let's see
Yes.
what we have next week?
Oh, Brother Ivan, if you have the video that we could play on what's going on here on INCRadio WDC next week. Do we have sound? If you don't have, there you go.
An electrifying performance was recently held in the District of Washington, D.C., Mid-Atlantic. Brethren from all ages shared their God-given musical talents, bringing smiles to the faces of all attendees. There was a 13-year-old drummer, a female bass guitarist, and a guitar saxophone musician. This band together event did just that. It brought new faces, the limelight, and awesome vocal and instrumental performances to the ears and hearts of the crowd.
All right. So with that said, thank you everyone for joining us today. For their unstoppable support, we'd like to thank our INC Radio Washington, D.C. family for supporting our broadcast this morning, especially to our district minister, Brother Sidney Santos, our station manager, Brother Arnel Solana, our subsidy president, Brother Angelo Manalo, and of course, a very special greeting to our executive minister of INC, or the Iglesianicristo, or the Church of Christ, Brother Eduardo V. Manalo. Thank you all for tuning in to INC Radio Washington, D.C. Satellite Studio. Stay unstoppable. Bye, everyone.
Bye. Don't
Bye,
forget
INC
to join
Kids.
Have a
in
nice
Science
Bye.
weekend.
Radio WDC next Saturday,
Keep
Keep
8
reading.
reading.
a.m.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.
Yes,
Thank you,
books are better than
everyone.
movies. Says not, Brother Ivan. It says not,
movie,
Sister Grace.
movie, then follow up for reading, then movie.
Bye, everyone. Bye, everyone.
This is INC Radio, DCEM 954, the voice of truth, the official radio station of the Church of Christ, or Iglesia ni Cristo.